Don't be going anywhere, just in case it could be one of those big Windsor Park nights. Giants have fallen in the past. Maybe we're due one of those big upsets. And a very happy anniversary for the manager. We've great balance on our panel tonight. Keith Gillespie wide on the right, George McCartney on the left, Jim Magilton pulling the strings in the middle, as ever, he tells us. We're going to get their pre-match thoughts in a moment or two. But we need to get you the team news, don't we? Because the big talking point after Friday night was, of course, the second yellow card for Conor Bradley. The fact that he was going to be suspended for this big game. So who was going to replace him? Match commentator Michael Clark can tell us.
Thank you, Joel. Welcome one and all to Windsor Park. And with the Liverpool man, it's Brodie Spencer that gets the nod. And the only change to the starting 11 from Friday night as Michael O'Neill enters his 100th match in charge of Northern Ireland, with a strong selection ahead of him. Bailey Peacock Farrell, who got his 18th international clean sheet against Slovakia, is in goals. Ballard McNair and matchday 3 hero Trey Hume is in defence. They are flanked by Devaney and Spencer. McCann, Galbraith and Shea Charles are in midfield, and Price, who scored in Germany, is joined by Jamie Reid in attack. The visitors, unsurprisingly, are unchanged from their 4-0 win over Luxembourg. Baumann once again the keeper. Joshua Kimmich earns his 105th cap on the right of a back four. His Bayern Munich teammate Jonathan Tah and Dortmund's Nico Schlotterbeck are the centre-back pairing. Raum is at left-back. Pavlovic and Goretzka, the holding midfielders. Vertsen Nabry, who were on target in Cologne against Northern Ireland, accompany Adeyemi ahead of them. And Newcastle United's Nick Voldemata is up top.
So it's Brodie Spencer then who gets the nod. We get the thoughts of Jim and Keith and George on that selection in a moment or two. But first, let's hear from the manager himself, Michael O'Neill. He's been speaking to Gavin Andrews.
Michael, Brodie Spencer, the only change. How big an opportunity is this for him tonight?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Brodie's a fine young player. He's played very well for us in the past, and obviously we missed him in September as an option. So he's a natural replacement for Conor on that side, and gives us, the same athleticism that we would get from Conor as well.
Well, it's going to be a big night for Brodie Spencer. It's going to be a big night for everyone here at Windsor Park. The atmosphere is absolutely magnificent. It just has the feeling of one of those big nights. And everybody is saying, Jim, that Michael O'Neill has everything on his CV apart from one of those sort of, headline wins against one of the big nations. And every time one of the games comes up, we all say, maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one, Jim.
Maybe this will be the one, Joel. It's set up beautifully because on back of a really good performance, 3 points against the Slovakian side that had come in full of confidence. So obviously the Conor Bradley one's a big loss, but Brodie coming in is a massive opportunity for him. So it's all set up beautifully for the night.
Thing is, Keith, Brodie Spencer could be just carried along on the crest of the wave tonight. You just never know, do you?
Yeah, hopefully so. But Jim said it. We're not blessed with too many players playing at the top level, and that's how important Conor is. But it's a great opportunity for Brodie tonight, as Michael said in his interview. He hasn't let anybody down when he's played, so he's got his chance again. What do you think, George? Are you driving up the road tonight and thinking about the game? Where are you in your mind about this one?
I was actually quietly confident until I seen Germany in the warm-up there doing some cross and finishing. I think every cross was on the money, and more or less every header shot was in the back of the net. But I think tonight for Northern Ireland, Michael, no, it was just reading there, he's 38 clean sheets in 99 games. I think tonight for Northern Ireland to get anything out of this game, they're going to have to keep clean sheet.
What did you make of the fact, Jim, that he didn't make any other changes? There was the one enforced change. He's resisted the temptation to tinker anywhere else in the team.
Yeah, I think it's another big decision was Reid, and the possibility maybe bringing a Josh McGuinness in just for his experience alone. Big nights like this. Reid had a great opportunity the other night to score, didn't take it. So that was a big call. He talked about the changeover. He talked about the fact that it was a home game. There was no travelling. Recovery was important. So he stayed very much loyal to the group of players that did well the other night. And he's very confident you can get a result.
I think how the team was set up the other night, it was probably hard to change because Reid, yes, he probably should have had 1 or 2 goals, but how the team pressed from the front, they were all connected. Reid and Galbraith, the midfield 3 narrowed in behind them, and tonight that's going to be important to stop Germany playing through them, playing between them, force them wide and then defend the wide areas. And I think Michael's probably thinking was the team connected well the other night. It worked well. No, let's stick with that.
Keith, people talk about this maybe not being a vintage German side. I bumped into a couple of Dutch football fans last week and we were chatting about the game, and at the end of the conversation the guy turned around to me and he said, yeah, but Germany's Germany. and they, you know, it's almost that they'll find some sort of a way. And you look at the result last month and then you look at their overall record. World Cup qualifiers, 106 matches, 84 wins, just 4 defeats over that period of time. I mean, it's extraordinary, really. And the idea that we're coming here thinking, oh, we might get something out of this match. Sometimes we need to temper it a little bit, don't we, in terms of the reality of the situation?
Yeah, totally, because you always know what you're going to get from the Germans. You know, we've mentioned they're probably not as strong a nation as, you know, the household names that we had in the past, but you know, you look at the clubs that they all play for. You know, they're playing at the top level. You know, so it is always going to be difficult. But you know, I think with this side, Northern Ireland side, I think they're young and they just don't fear anybody at the minute, and you know, it can work in your favour, that.
But given that record, tonight could be the night, Joe.
It could. You just don't know.
You don't know.
You don't. And 1996 is the last time Northern Ireland got any points from a competitive fixture against Germany. Nuremberg, 1-1 draw. Jim didn't play. Jerry Taggart scored. Keith, you were an unused sub. And then Jim came back for the home game and we lost 3-1. I mean, I don't know if there's some sort of pattern or coincidence.
Was that a Bierhoff?
Oliver Bierhoff came off the bench that night in the 69th minute at 1-0 down, and by the 79th minute he scored 3. Yeah. And Germany were 3-1 up.
I think I went off right after he came on.
Well, we're preparing for the emergence of the two teams. George, we have to mention it, don't we, a little bit about the fact, the anniversary. Michael O'Neill over his 2 spells, George, 100 games in charge. I mean, it's magnificent, isn't it? Only the second Northern Ireland manager to hit that milestone along with Billy Bingham.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I think both periods in charge, he's done a magnificent job. I think tonight, if Northern Ireland, you know, we talked about clean sheets there, and you keep a clean sheet, if Northern Ireland scored their 100th World Cup qualifying goal at Windsor Park on Michael's 100th match. No,
the stars would align.
Where's he getting these stats from? This is very impressive.
I was doing some studying beforehand.
Very impressive.
David Healy will want to know why he wasn't watching Portadown videos before Friday night instead. Out come the teams, mascots and players together, match officials already under the arch just in front of us. You definitely feel it. The noise level is up a notch from Friday night, and it was pretty good on Friday, but there is this sense that this is, you know, a special night, could be a very special night. We're going to have the anthems, and they're going to be performed live for us by Carly Paoli, and then we'll have our commentary team of John O'Neill and Michael Clark.
We are delighted to welcome back to the Clear and Twist National Stadium at Windsor Park, Carly Paoli, who will perform this evening's anthems. Please be upstanding and show your respect for the national anthem of Germany.
spine-tingling rendition of the national anthem from Carly Paoli, who, before she sang, unveiled the Northern Ireland kit, which went down a treat with the home fans, as we saw her do 4 years ago against Italy. Well, what about tonight? Michael O'Neill hits his century, becoming only the second manager after the late Billy Bingham to reach 100 games in charge of Northern Ireland. And in the pursuit of a place at the World Cup next year, what better man to emulate? It was Bingham who famously led the Green and White Army to consecutive World Cups in 82 and 86. It was also Bingham who masterminded the only 2 victories that Northern Ireland have ever recorded against Germany. Michael O'Neill's international career began under Billy Bingham in the late 80s. Lessons he learned under him have served him well in his career. Michael O'Neill's first spell in charge didn't have a smooth start, but he orchestrated the greatest moment for a generation of supporters when he led this nation to Euro 2016. His return has resurrected form and reinforced Windsor Park. It is a fortress once more. Tonight he aims to prove again that it is not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. John O'Neill, bring on the Germans.
These are the nights that I loved. These are the nights that I dreamed about when you were a kid. And for the Northern Ireland lads again tonight, they have to have that same feeling. They mustn't be afraid. There's nothing to fear here. I mean, we don't expect a big lot from them. Everybody thinks we're going to get beat, and that may be so. But I'll bet we go out tonight and give it as good a performance as we can. And I did it. And many a times I was fortunate enough to play in the game against Germany here when we beat them 1-0 in the European qualifiers, and then we went to Germany and beat them 1-0. So it can be done, but we've got to start very well. We've got to make sure we don't give them anything, because they've got players of quality. We can turn the game in a second, and we know they didn't have they're not as good a team as the teams that I played against, but there's still a lot of quality in the side. And we saw it. I mean, Words from Liverpool did absolutely nothing the whole game there, and he ended up and scored a great free kick. So that's the quality you're up against. Obviously, missing Bradley's a big dent in our hopes, but the players have got to, embrace this game. This is what you wanted to become a footballer played. You're playing against Germany, one of the best clubs or countries in the world down through the years, and this is where you make your memories. I had certainly great memories of playing against Germany, so hopefully these lads will do the same.
Northern Ireland in their green tops, dark green shorts and white socks. Germany in the white jerseys, white shorts and black socks with a white trim, and it is the Germans who kick us off. They are playing from right to left. Our referee tonight is Jesus Gil Manzano from Spain. He is a very experienced official who has taken charge of many El Clasicos. He was also the referee in the Champions League recently for Man City's draw against Monaco. The place is bouncing, John O'Neill, and we've barely seen the ball kicked.
Yeah, I mean, I at times I'm struggling to hear you, Michael, when they get to the top of their voices. It'll be interesting to see how we start off the game. Are we going to play long and try and play in their half for maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes, get the crowd into the game, and see, how they're going to defend against us?
Northern Ireland had an early free kick inside their own half, which is played forward by Bailey Peacock-Farrell. A couple of passes, moves it to the left, and it was played into the centre. But unable to find anybody in green, and it's now Germany who are breaking away. Serge Gnabry denied foray forwards there. He was smothered in his advances, and a ball searching for the run of Price very nearly found him. And Germany squeezed back Northern Ireland with that sort of pressing start that we saw on Friday night, and it really worked for them.
Well, that's what they've got to do. And again, their centre backs, their back three, back four, aren't used to players pressing them that high up the pitch, particularly at international level. At international level, they tend to draw off a little bit. And you saw with the first ball up from Bailey Peacock-Farrell, they didn't deal with it, and we were in and around amongst them.
Northern Ireland with Peacock-Farrell and goals again tonight. Hugh McNair and Ballard, the back line, Devaney and Spencer either side, McCann, Galbraith and Shea Charles in midfield, and Price and Reid are in Northern Ireland's attack as Gnabry goes down, and after a moment to see if play would advance, it has not, and a free kick has been given about a yard inside from the touchline by our Spanish official.
Yeah, unfortunately the ball up to Voltamiro, actually he was offside, so I thought we were actually going to get away with that, but the referee brought it back for the advantage. Again, Altamira, when he played against us, he did nothing. He's gone to Newcastle and we know he's been scoring a few goals, so it'll be interesting to see how he's progressed over the last month or so.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling well last week. He overcame a flu to play in the match, and 3 goals in 4 Premier League games so far as Galbraith shows a bit of trickery to step away from his man, and he tried to play it down the line for Reid, but it was just a little bit ahead of the forwards.
Just a little bit too much, yeah.
Well, this energy is infectious. It's feeding onto the pitch. We played just over 2.5 minutes at Windsor Park. Northern Ireland, Germany scoreless. Remember, these sides, along with Slovakia, tied on 6 points before a ball is kicked tonight. It's an unbelievable campaign. Northern Ireland are hoping that they can continue to produce in it. What a brilliant start to their first home game on Friday against Slovakia without winning. Remember, Germany's only away game so far ended in defeat for them.
Yeah, and when we set it on the night, I can't believe that side beat this German side here. So, it can happen.
They, through Schlotterbeck, move the ball to the right. It's back with Joshua Kimmich, and they are able to enjoy a little bit of possession. Alexander Pavlovich. And Kimmich again. Boos ringing out to try and unnerve the German team. They're very smooth on the ball, well, until it reached Adeyemi, who miscontrolled it. He's got it back again. Another chance as Raum was able to collect Northern Ireland's clearance, and Germany move it around. And we're going to, I would imagine, see quite a bit of this tonight. The Germans on the ball.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of possession, but again, so long as you're keeping the possession in front of us, we don't really mind. You don't want them to get round the back.
The ball played to Reid, who went down very easily on the halfway line, and the referee was not going to be giving a foul there.
That's the problem, Michael. When we get it up to Reid, it's got to stick to take the pressure off us. I mean, he miscontrols it, and we're back against the collar again.
It's going to be a throw-in there. The ball had gone out of play, and Nagelsmann and Adeyemi cannot understand why it wasn't their throw-in, but it's gone the way of Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's gone out of play.
And it should have been Germany's throw-in.
Yeah, it's their throw-in. I think it's come off Brodie Spencer.
Well, it's nights like this, you look for little omens, don't you? Or we're going to get a bit of luck. Germany moving past Per Mertesacker, having already surpassed Franz Beckenbauer in his last game. What an incredible career he has had, and still only 30 years of age. Plenty more caps for him to win.
Shows you how the game has moved on, Michael, when you're saying only 30 years of age. In my day, that was getting to the end of your career.
Well, he is some athlete. I fancy him for a few more years yet.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's just the game's moved on now.
Gnabry taking little touches as he moves on inside on his right foot and strokes it to the left, where Raum will try underlap Adeyemi, who goes back to the defence, and Schlotterbeck, who was able to shake off a bit of a knock sustained in the last game. He only played 45 minutes, but fit again to start this one. Body's in the centre. Gnabry's touch, it falls, and Goretzka's gone down. Voldemar has collected the ball. Germany are asking for a penalty. Of course, VAR will look at that, but play progresses, and this is a dangerous spell, and Raum's shot hits off the Northern Ireland skipper Trey Humans behind for a corner.
I wonder, are they going to look at the challenge by, was it McCann, just on the edge of the box? And again, it's very difficult to see. He's going to try and intercept the pass. Did he connect?
Well, it's just coming up on our monitor now.
It's nothing.
Doesn't look like anything in that.
It's nothing.
We're just waiting for the referee to wave proceedings back underway. And he's in dialogue with the two captains at the moment inside the penalty area, whilst VAR makes sure they're satisfied.
It takes him too long. I mean, we've already seen the replay there, Michael, and it doesn't seem to be anything there at all.
Yeah, we've played nearly 7 minutes, and the referee is still talking to the two captains, which suggests that they're forensically looking at this. And after doing so, to be fair, John O'Neill, you said it, after one replay,
you should have been able
not
to
much
sort
in it.
that out, yeah.
So Germany will have a corner. And they've got all the big hitters moving around in the centre. Northern Ireland with all of their outfield players in the box. Couple of passes, then it finds Kimmich looking to the back post. It's glanced down, it's in the box, and it's Florian Wirtz who smashes it wide and into the stand, and that's received by a massive roar from the fans.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad corner worked by the Germans, and it's gone to the back post. I think it might have been Shea Charles that got the header. It wasn't the best of headers, it didn't clear the 18-yard box, but the shot was wild and over the bar.
Julian Nagelsmann in conversation with the fourth official, but he's not going to be able to change anybody's minds at this stage. Peacock Farrell with the goal kick, headed down by Leon Goretzka, and Galbraith just couldn't quite reach the ball inside Germany's half there. And with the way this game is going, 8 minutes in, out of possession, it's such a big ask, isn't it, for players just to keep the nerves in check. Germany enjoying so much of the ball, as we see the first glimpse of Conor Bradley on our monitors. He is missing out through suspension, and what a miss he is, but that's given the opportunity for Brodie Spencer to step in. And the Northern Ireland fans again turning up the decibels to try and encourage the players who are doing lots of running off the ball, John.
Well, they're going to have to do that. We knew that was going to happen.
Switching the ball to the right side, and Adeyemi trying to step in, and he was denied entry into the penalty area by Justin Devaney, who got his right foot onto it, and the long ball's gone all the way up the other end, and at the corner of the box out comes Oliver Baumann to sweep up. On nights like this, John, how do you measure it all as a player? How do you just keep yourself in check and not be too gung-ho, but equally not sit too far back?
Good tackle on the edge of the box there again. I think it was Ballard that time. You've got to concentrate 100%. You've got to make sure that you're always, aware of what you're doing, where your man are when you're picking up, and that has got to go right through the team, Michael.
Well, no surprise it is Germany rocking the ball from right to left.
Yeah, and we knew that this was going to happen, but so long as we keep them going around the outside and make sure they don't get round the back of us.
Raum trying a shot from distance, encouraged by his free kick the other night.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot from a centre half, but it was always going over the bar.
There was some goal that he scored against Luxembourg. Billy Peacock Farrell just taking his time to move back into position with the ball, still in his bright red gloves.
The crowd's getting on their feet at every opportunity, and he's only going to take a goal kick here. But it's important, that we had when we're going to knock it long, it doesn't matter whether they win the header or not, so long as we're on the second ball.
Spencer got his head to that on the halfway line. There's some wrestling going on between Voldemara and Ballard.
By Ballard. I mean, Voldemara is a big lad, but Ballard was certainly up to the task there.
Bit of Sunderland v Newcastle, John.
Yeah, well, I suppose, yeah.
Throw in from Germany, nearly closed down by Reid, who couldn't quite reach it. Slaughterbeck able to move it along to Ta. And the Dortmund man trying to play a long ball over the top of Northern Ireland's defence. Peacock Farrell watches it bounce all the way out. And he had a little bodyguard there, Trey Hume as well, making sure no one was getting near him.
Exactly, Hume made sure that he wasn't getting anywhere near it. I mean, it was always going through to Peacock Farrell anyway, and he's happy enough to let it out for a goal kick. But as I say, Trey Hume wasn't letting Wirtz anywhere in there.
We've played 11 and a half minutes. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 0. The visitors with the lion's share of possession, but Northern Ireland able to limit the chances to attempts from distance.
Yeah, they had the corner, but outside of that, there's been sort of no real action in any of the 18-yard boxes. Good touch by.
Brilliant touch by Reid.
Yeah.
Price trying to find Galbraith, wasn't able to do that. And Baumann has shanked his clearance, and I tell you what.
Oh, what a draw to touch
what
by
a touch. Nagelsmann just brings it down on his left thigh. I think even our pundits were impressed by that.
That's a foul.
Well, Galbraith thought he was fouled.
Yeah.
It certainly looked like a foul on him by Wirtz, but he hasn't been given the free kick. Not quite sure how.
And it's certainly not up there either. Yeah, right now. I was interested knowing they were on about Nagelman's, remarks after the game out there. I thought they were taking the wrong way. I thought he was actually playing Northern Ireland a compliment, because we made it very, very difficult for them and they were under pressure. And there's nothing wrong with playing a long ball. Absolutely not. We did it for long enough. So I think it was just taken out of context slightly.
He was very quick to apologise last night as well.
Well, I think he was more not so much apologising, just putting the record straight. I mean, at the time when he said it, well, I felt I knew exactly what he meant,
Are you saying football fans are sensitive?
I think maybe reporters are a little bit sensitive, looking for a story more than that.
Northern Ireland get a free kick this time. Peacock Farrell more than halfway inside his own half, taking that, it's flicked on. Oh, and it's going to be forced in, is it? Northern Ireland score! And it's Dan Ballard, of course it is, who gets the goal. However, the flag has now gone up, and it may well be chalked off.
So I don't know whether the flag's gone up for the original cross or. Yeah, he's offside.
Oh, when he flicks the ball
he's offside,
on,
yeah.
There is a player offside, and so although his rebound happens moments after, it is offside.
It's Trey Hume, I think, is offside. Who went for the original, or it might have been.
It might have been
McNair who went for the original flick on, and he was offside. That's unfortunate.
Well, 14 minutes in.
But we're just making the point, Michael. That's just a free kick into the box, and they're struggling to deal with it. So there is absolutely nothing wrong in playing a long ball in there. And after that, there was one or two who could have put it into the net. But fair play to the fourth official. He put his flag up right away. And to be fair to him, it was quite tight.
Yeah, they're still mulling over it. It's definitely offside.
It's definitely offside.
It's definitely offside. Ballard heads it on. McNair is almost his entire body beyond the last defender.
Yeah, and he misses it, and then I think it hits the goalkeeper, and it comes back out, and Ballard sticks it into the net. But it's the right decision.
Yeah, goal disallowed, but a bit of encouragement there for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, again, any chance you get, whether it's from a free kick or for a corner, you put their back four under. It certainly wasn't there.
Yeah, the goalkeeper's stealing a few yards, moving it to the edge of his 18-yard box.
I mean, he was offside on the edge of the 6-yard box, not on the 18-yard box.
And after all that, he takes the kick short anyway to his centre-back that's only a few yards away from him. But a warning for Germany, certainly, too.
Fair to do.
Ball going back to Baumann, their keeper, who wasn't at fault for the goal by any means, but he's had his own critics in Germany because he's had some incredibly talented predecessors who people can't help but compare him with. And Neuer and Ter Stegen, Northern Ireland enjoying a bit of time on the ball, and the fans appreciating that. Galbraith, first touch looked a little heavy, but he was quick enough to get there and make sure he kept the ball, and Ballard, who thought he'd scored,
great passing,
gets it to McNair, and Northern Ireland forcing Germany to do a bit of running now.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not going anywhere. We ended up back at Peacock Farrell, but it's got to give them a lot of confidence that they can get the ball down and pass it.
Gnabry with a poor touch, ball back with those in green again, and played all the way back to Peacock Farrell. He doesn't take any chances. He goes long, and Reid again with a header.
Reid has got to get on that.
It was a little soft glance, no real conviction or direction to it. Hume. Spencer was caught. He stayed on his feet, but the referee's given the foul.
The referee did well there, because to be fair to Brodie Spencer, he was caught, but he didn't go down and make a meal of it. But the referee was right on the spot and give the free kick. So again, it's maybe 3 or 4 yards inside our half, out here on the touchline. Send your big guys up again.
Well, Northern Ireland thought they had their 100th World Cup qualifying goal at Windsor Park. They're in pursuit of that. This place.
Now, the one thing I would say, Michael, is that they've got to be very careful of them breaking, because they're very good on the break. So we've got to make sure, that we get something on the end of it and the play's dead before we have to regroup.
Well, it's a good point, because so many players are forwards. Ballard's been fouled at the edge of the box, and it's a free kick. He was being held off the ball, and he's gone flying, and he's got up very unhappy, shaking his head.
Michael, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've said it all down through the years, when I was doing it with Michael McNamee, when we do it with Joel. Teams from the continent, from Europe, cannot deal with this. They're not used to that in their home, their home games, and especially when you come to a place like this, when the place is jumping. For some reason, they just can't cope with it, and these guys are playing, at the top of their level.
Yeah, that was Joshua Kimmich as well. He was just standing in front of him, blocking him and holding him, and as Ballard ran past him, he just dragged him down. So it's a free kick, a couple of yards outside the penalty area, a little to the left of the D. And who do you fancy from here, John?
Oh, there's only one person going to hit this, isn't there?
Devaney and Shea Charles are standing there, but Isaac Price,
unless they do something different,
is looking with great intent. We've seen him score from this range before. It's rolled, Devaney touches it, and he was closed down by the time it was at his boot. The wall was out on top of him.
Too clever. I mean, one touch and hit it. Just thought they were too clever. And this is the point I was making here, Michael. They're quick on the break here.
And Ali McCann was covering, but he's missed the ball. Florian Wirtz tries to get into the box. Ball was touched away from him. Edge of the box, the shot is taken. And that was a late challenge from Ali McCann on Pavlovic. And I think the referees just said, get on with it.
Yeah, I don't think there was much there. He's gone to try and make the tackle. The guys had the shot. It wasn't a bad shot, it just was too high. But the point I've made is that on the break, after the initial free kick was cleared, or the initial free kick was cleared, they were right in, and although it was a mistake by McCann that let them in.
There might have been an offside on the counter-attack, but they weren't to know that. And
no.
Ali McCann missing the ball there.
Totally miskicked. He didn't kick it at all, and through his legs.
Just when it looked like it was going to drop favourably for him. He got it all wrong, but Northern Ireland given the reprieve. And they'll have a throw in.
Well, if you're going to come out in front, or get a draw in a game like this against a nation with this strength and depth and quality, you're going to have to ride your luck as well, Michael.
Northern Ireland, as the gents were saying before, priding themselves on the amount of clean sheets they're keeping. 5 consecutive clean sheets at home at Windsor Park in competitive matches. That's some going, and if they were to make it 6 tonight, it would be the first time since Northern Ireland beat Germany here 1-0.
Is that right? Yeah.
For anyone looking for lightning to strike twice, that would be some event, wouldn't it? We've played exactly 20 minutes here in Belfast. The ball punted long by the German keeper, and it's headed comfortably back into the path of Peacock Farrell, and he's not in any great rush to get this away from him, and now he'll pick it up as Gnabry closes down.
Yeah, Adi Amy wasn't too pleased with the goalkeeper there. I think he just thought he's hit that far too long. There's no chance of him getting on the end of it. As you say, it's just gone straight through to Peacock Farrell.
Long now, and this time won by Reid. Galbraith couldn't quite get there. It's been a fast start by Germany. Not that they've completely clicked into gear yet, but
that's nothing.
They've been able to keep up with
Ballard's
things.
won the ball. Voltemader's backing into him. What do you want him to do?
Physicality going against the defender on that occasion.
That's going to be a contest all night. That's a terrible free kick.
Leon Goretzka.
Goretzka just put that out almost at the corner flag, and again Adi Amy was nowhere near that.
No, it's answers on a postcard stuff for such a decorated player. 65th cap tonight, and he just ran and punted the ball where nobody was.
No.
More of that, please.
But again, it looks like Peacock Farrell's going to kick every goal kick or anything he gets in around the box. So we've got to try, as I say, you don't have to win it, but you've got to respond to it. You've got to take a chance, that maybe Reid will get a flick on and you can go behind the German defence. If not, then you've got to hope the midfield players are going to pick it up, and then we'll take it from there.
Flick on one this time. Again, it wouldn't stick for Reid. It's back with Baumann. Hume on the halfway line winning his battle, and there'll be plenty of battles across the pitch, and Brodie Spencer
that's ridiculous.
He's had a free kick given against him for winning a header against Raum, which is most puzzling. He just wanted the ball more.
I honestly don't know what you're going to do with a game. Like, I mean, they're going to get to the stage where you're not going to be able to have any physical contact at all, because that's just a perfect header. It was above Raum. Raum was nowhere near it, you know, and obviously there's going to be a clash when two players are going for a header, but how he gives that as a free kick, I don't know.
Yeah, very strange. It was a simple case of two men trying to win a header, and one man did, and one man fell over it.
Yeah. I mean, this is going quite similar to the game over there, Michael. You know, I mean, we're well in the game at the minute. They're not causing us too many problems, but as I said, they've got quality around the pitch, and it only takes a split second for somebody to switch off, and, you know, they could punish you for it.
Yeah, it was 7 minutes that they were in front the last time out in Cologne through Gnabry. We've played almost 23 minutes here, and right up to the 69th minute you were 1-1 and wondering what if.
Yeah.
They've moved the ball out to the right edge of the penalty area now. Adeyemi, little drop of the shoulder, he's rolled the ball to his right, it's been kept in, and McNair keeps pace with that and clears it for a throw-in. And whilst that's going on, Shea Charles and the referee have a little high five. I'm not sure what that was about, but they've obviously made up for something.
At this minute, Adeyemi seems to be the way they want to get at us, you know, down that right-hand side. So we've got to be very, very careful.
They were looking for him, but he's not 9 foot. So it's out for a throw-in. And Adeyemi has been going through a purple patch for Borussia Dortmund. 2 goals and an assist in his last 4 for the club. In fact, he's also scored the fastest travelling goal of the Bundesliga season so far, 78.18 miles per hour, which I wouldn't fancy being in the way of that, to be honest.
No, but Devaney and Price on that left-hand side have got to make sure that they got him tied up very quickly.
Pull the man off and dangle a leg. Little unorthodox, but effective. Helped his team keep the ball. They've got to throw in.
As long as we get your back 3, your back 5 set up, and don't let them get round the back. If you watched the Republic of Ireland match the other night, they did it perfectly against Portugal. They just would not let them get down the wings and get behind them. And if we can do that, you know, we'll certainly limit them to chances from outside the box.
Challenged corner given to Germany. Shea Charles
feels that it come off all the made at the finish, but he hasn't been given it.
No, he was pleading his case, but falls on deaf ears. And once again, all the Northern Ireland players in the penalty area defending, and almost all of Germany's players joining them there. 1 or 2 lingering at the edge. Florian Wirtz amongst them. It's the left back Raum who's over there to deliver the in-swinger. Nobody moving around Peacock Farrell at the moment. The German runner's now in the centre of the box. It's just beyond Goretzka. McCann got his head to that.
That's well played by Reid. He's strong there.
Gnabry. He'll be the fastest to get there. And he's able to shepherd out for a throw-in, which he's going to leave to Raum. Gnabry back with Schlotterbeck, and he hooks it all the way back to his keeper, so the throw-in ended up going to the right and all the way back for Germany. Possession stats just appearing on our monitor, 68% to Germany.
For what, maybe a couple of corners, Michael?
Exactly. Michael O'Neill won't be too disappointed with that so far. They're advancing down the right side, and Galbraith has challenged using his hands in front of the...
He needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card, so he needs to be careful there. You can't gesture to the 4th official, but it's nothing. Again, you know, it's just 2 players coming together, and he goes down. As soon as he touches him on the shoulder, he's going down.
Yeah, had a word with the assistant ref over there. Free kick. It's practically on the touchline, just up from the corner flag. Northern Ireland thought about a 2-man wall. They've decided 1 man from there will do, and it gives them an extra body back in the box. Galbraith at the moment is trying to stay with Joshua Kimmich. Devaney, if you look at where he's standing, John, he's in amongst a pile of players. Peacock Farrell does very well, diving backwards to punch that away.
It was curling in underneath his bar. Like, I think it was a poor corner, but he had to deal with it. He's got a fist on it, and, you know, got it out for a throw-in down here below us.
When Ram, having been on the far side of the pitch a moment ago, goes back on his natural side, winding
Looks
up.
like it's going to be a long throw, which we've seen a lot more of in the game now.
Well, with there being so many players in that penalty area, it can be pinball any time it makes its way in.
That's a foul.
Looked like a foul in there. Brodie Spencer got his head
That was foul
on the ball. Northern Ireland trying to win the ball back, and Schlotterbeck was caught, and Reid has been cautioned. So Jamie Reid, the first yellow card of the match.
I didn't actually see that. I want to see it on the replay, but if he's been late there, he's stupid. Oh, he is. That's terrible. That is terrible from Reid. I mean, the ball's long gone. It gives us a chance to get up the field, and he just leaves his foot in there. That is a poor tackle, and he deserved the yellow card.
Yep, he's getting a polite talking to from Ethan Galbraith beside him, who's just trying to say you need to be a bit smarter there.
Yeah, Michael's reminiscing with the fourth official down here, but I think if he sees that again.
Yeah, Schlotterbeck stayed down for the moment as well. The studs just catching the side of the calf, and yeah, it wasn't a nice tackle at all, really. Well,
so far so good, Michael. They're sticking to their task when they haven't got the ball. They're being solid. They're getting their challenges in, particularly the likes of Voltamedi up against, whether it's Hume or whether it's Ballard. They're sticking well to him.
Well,
and it just shows you, the goal that was disallowed, it was offside, but it was close. It was close.
Yeah, it's just a reminder of what Northern Ireland can do from set pieces, and Michael O'Neill has been there and done that when it comes to some special results with set pieces. You think of...
This is a very high line they're holding here.
The road to the Euros, it really, really is.
I'm not sure I would be happy with that as a centre-back, but there you are.
10 yards outside of the penalty area.
Yeah, it's a very high line.
It's a long green line of bodies, and Germany are setting up runners just deep of that and then looking to get it in behind. Ballard got his head onto it. It's gone into the box. McCann's actually landed on top of Shea Charles.
Shea Charles, a bit over eager there. There should be more communication.
Reid is wrestling with Adeyemi, and in the end the ball bobbles and hits McCann and goes out.
Yeah, well, there's bodies colliding all over the park there.
That's what I was referring to earlier, but sometimes just keeping yourself in check, because it's almost the adrenaline, isn't it?
Exactly. You've got to make sure you do keep control of yourself. That's brilliant by Brodie Spencer. It was unfortunate there.
Ball almost ricocheting into the path of Reid as it hit Price, but not to be. Kimmich is running out of room on that right-hand side, but he's a cool customer and was able to roll the ball to Adeyemi, and in turn he goes back to Ta, former Bayer Leverkusen man. They've got
that's
to
a better
Adeyemi
ball to
again,
Adeyemi, yeah.
on the right-hand side,
Well,
trying to find space. Devaney
he's
back
going
and challenging.
Yeah, again, sticking to his task. Gets his foot in, gets it out for a corner.
Half an hour played in this game on Radio Ulster, 5 Sports Extra, and
when
BBC Sounds.
Sorry, Mike. When you look at it, they've got quite a tall foursome in there, and I'm not 100% sure what we're zone marking here. Our best headers are staying within the 6-yard box to try and clear it there, and the guys that are picking up their tall men, to me, are I'm not so sure.
And then there's the 3 gentlemen at the edge of the box, and Gnabry, Wirtz and Adeyemi. They're just waiting for something to fall their way. And the ball is in the net, and it's Nick Voldemata who gets the touch. He's inside the 6-yard box, and he was the only one moving towards the ball. 31 minutes on the clock. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1.
Michael, I've just called it. I mean, I don't want to blow my old trumpet, but we had Price picking up Voldemata. I just do not understand that. We should have had either Ballard or Trey Hume or McNair picking up. He's probably the tallest player in the field, and we've got Price trying to pick him up. That is, to me, that is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the ball delivered in, and it actually goes in off the back of his shoulder. It's almost characteristic of the big man in many ways, but he won't really care.
I know I'm sort of a dinosaur at this, but I just do not like zone marking. I just don't like it. And I remember the manager once said to me, or said to us as a team, Space has never scored a goal. It's players that score goals, And Voldemar is up against Price. He gets a full run on it, and it was an easy goal, and it's a soft goal to give away after such a good 30 minutes or something, is it, Michael?
Yeah, 31 minutes that goal's timed at. His first goal of this World Cup qualifying campaign. And I think VAR just want to make sure that doesn't technically go down as a handball because it hits the back of his shoulder, but I can't see that happening.
We might be lucky here. We might be lucky.
I think it's high enough up to not be a problem for Germany.
He's just given.
Yeah, no, that is a goal. And again, I don't understand at times why VAR takes so long. I watched that once and was able to tell you that, but there we are.
Yeah.
Ball kicked off once more, so Northern Ireland trailing, having had a goal disallowed in this match. Tried to get into the box, and Germany...
Yeah, again, putting a little pressure on the back four, and they're scrambling it away.
This is a dangerous period in the game now where Northern Ireland need to make sure they don't get caught out. Natty Emmy's going to have the legs on McNair. He's pulled the ball back into the penalty area. There's a push on McCann. McCann got the clearance, but he's also got the foul.
Yeah, he's done well. He's got there to get the clearance. And again, you can use it to your advantage sometimes as well. He just felt a little touch on his back and he's gone down and he's got the free kick. But it was good defending. Again, another quick back for them. Adeyemi's their outlet all the time. As he crosses the ball across, thankfully, I think it was Goretzka that McCann got in front of him. Otherwise, it's almost like a side foot into the goal again.
So Voldemar has given Germany the lead. And not just his first goal of the campaign, his first international goal as well for Germany. So an important and a special night for him, but it's slightly sucked the atmosphere out of here, understandably.
Well, you got to hope now that they settle themselves down again and go back to what they've been doing. I mean, they haven't been doing anything, that particularly wrong, but it's just sloppy marking at a corner kick. And I've always said, Michael, you don't mind if a player goes past 2-3 players, puts a great cross in the box and somebody heads it into the goal, but they lose a goal from a corner. Is, from our point of view, we would have been very, very annoyed by that.
The reason you're hearing some jeers and boos is Germany were taking their time over a free kick, passing it on to various people before their goalkeeper ultimately took it. The ball on the halfway line with Ta, who goes all the way back to his keeper once more, and they want to draw Northern Ireland out.
Now they can play the game at their pace because they know we have to come out.
Brodie Spencer. Gnabry gives him a little shove and gets a throw in.
He had nowhere to go, Spencer. He couldn't get it down the line. He was just facing the touchline, and Gnabry forces him into giving them the throw in.
Northern Ireland unbeaten in their previous 7 home internationals, 6 wins and a draw. Knew this was always going to be a big challenge, and there's still a long way to go in this game as well.
There's a long way to go because outside of the goal, we've been well in the game. We're not looking as if we're going to score, but we're certainly holding our own. And as I say, maybe a yard the other way, and we would have been 1 up before we got to this stage.
Michael O'Neill standing at the edge of his technical area, as he so often does tonight in his big coat.
Yeah, the problem being now, they're so good on the ball and possession that they can keep the ball all night, and it'll be very difficult for us. And they know that if we try and put them under pressure further up the park, we're going to leave gaps at the back.
Goretzka to Wirtz, who's just stepping in off the left wing, and Germany slowing the pace down, but equally we know they have the players to speed things up. Schlotterbeck needed to speed things up there and didn't. He was taking too much time and then he lost the ball, but Brodie Spencer has miscued his pass and it's out for a throw-in. And Jimmy Reid has just stayed down.
I think he got a knock on the ankle there as he made the tackle. It was a good tackle by Reid, but I think he got caught. He's actually letting the referee know that as well.
Well, he's bobbling on. Germany get us going again. Just seeing a replay of that goal on the monitor. He tried to head it Voldemar, but in the end it didn't matter, it went in anyway. Ballard stepping out from the back, moving the pass left to Devaney inside Northern Ireland's half, and looked like there was hands on Price, but he does really well to keep his balance and keep the ball rolling. Northern Ireland's fans going up a decibel or two, trying to encourage them forwards. Galbraith quickly closed down.
Well, not to dwell on the point, Michael, that's when we needed the ball coming out to this right-hand side to get Bradley on the ball, because he would have been bombing up and down that right wing. Brodie Spencer's not that type of player. He's more defensively minded, so it just goes to show how big a miss that Bradley is for us. Because when you look back to the game on Friday night, everything was going down this right-hand side with him and Galbraith.
Well, the referee now is asking for the free kick to be moved back 5 centimetres. That's slightly irritating, Shay Charles. The thing to maybe give everyone a little bit of encouragement is the fact that Northern Ireland have scored in their last 10 games. So, unlike in years gone by where goals were hard to come by, this group of players has often found a way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have it with Devaney now. Left-footed, dinked into the box, headed down. Reid's headed it goalwards. It's a better header from Reid.
Again, he's given a free kick. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's never a foul.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And yet it has been given as one. It was a better move. Devaney getting it in. The ball was headed across, and then Reid, about 8 yards out, coming onto the end of Ballard's flick on. And there's no foul in there whatsoever. Ballard was above his man.
I cannot see why he's given a free kick there. But it was a good free kick. We didn't just take it and knock it straight into the box. They moved it, and I've said a lot of times, I like to see them moving the ball before the free kick comes in, and they created the chance again. Just that little bit, something different.
Slaughterbeck just able to shrug off the challenge of Galbraith, and he moves the ball back to Baumann. Price sliding in, and Baumann has to go high. And Germany keep that in on the far touchline. They've also got a header down from Devaney straight at Gnabry, and this could cause problems for Northern Ireland. Weerts on the left side of the box, trying to cut in, wants to find a bit of space. He also has a runner ahead of him. Germany flooding the box now with runners. Voldemar denied.
Yeah, that's where you wanted Ballard up against him in the corner. He did that there, right up against him, and he wins the header.
He's winning almost all of his headers. No surprise to hear that being said, of course. Northern Ireland head the ball away, and the problem is when they head it away, the next player to get it's often a German player. It's ricocheted around a few times after Adeyemi's shot, and it's behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, I think Ballard's complaining that it hit him and then hit the German before it went out. It was hard to see. It took that big a deflection. But again, a sloppy ball by Devaney on the other side, and they are so good and so quick. You can't afford even those little slips.
You might have had a point there, actually. There was definitely a second deflection.
Yeah, I think it did, yeah.
Corner to Germany. This time from the near side, right-footed swinging in. Keeper was standing, staring at it somewhat there. Nobody's gone across yet to Weerts. He'll cross it in again. It's headed away by Spencer. Adeyemi, 25 yards out. Little give and go, gets it back from Gnabry and moved along. Kimmich now to the right side of the penalty area. Spencer heads it down
header
to Ta.
Oh my God.
And Ta, fortunately for Northern Ireland, isn't the player that really wanted that, John. He tried to pass it, and it's a goal kick.
I'm glad it was a centre half that got on that, because Brody Spencer heads it straight to Ta on the edge of the 18-yard box, and really he should at least have got a shot away. They tried to pass it to Kimmich, and it was a terrible pass. He passed it out for a goal kick.
Well, if that was a forward, that's exactly what he would have said. Ta. It was teed up for him, wasn't it? It's the lost art of heading the ball high and far. Everyone's head. Germany are doing quite a few times. They've lined up players in the edge of the box, knowing that Northern Ireland win the first ball, but the second ball's theirs. And that's something that they'll need to have a think about, Northern Ireland, at half-time. 5 minutes away from that, plus whatever time is added on. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1. Voldemar's goal.
Reid seems to be struggling a little bit there at the minute. He's still limping, I'm wondering, will he think of maybe possibly changing it at half-time?
Dion Charles, Callum Marshall among the attacking
we're struggling
options
here to get a throw in. We've got absolutely no movement. Everybody's standing still. Oh, dear.
Well, it was a scuff pass. It's found Galbraith. He's fallen over it. Done a couple of tricks. He's been kicked twice. He's not got a foul. And in the tightest little triangle ever, the ball's ricocheted around everywhere and eventually bounced out to Germany.
That's ridiculous. I mean, McCann and Galbraith were both kicked there, and he let it go. And as soon as their guy gets any sort of a touch on it, he's given them a free kick.
Voldemar felt the contact from Hume, went down face first. Michael O'Neill prowling his technical area as Germany have two men waiting to take the free kick. They roll it. Raum will continue his run down the left-hand side. Weerts instead goes inside to Adeyemi, and now to Gnabry. Queue of German players waiting in the box. Reid went for the ball, and it's hit off Raum.
Yeah, he did well.
So Northern Ireland get the goal kick. Well, a few minutes to half-time, John O'Neill. What do you think Michael O'Neill will be wanting to say to these players when he gets them in?
Outside of the goal, I don't think they're doing anything, too wrong. They're doing what they have to do. We're not causing much of a threat outside of when we get a set piece and we can put it into the box, So he would like to see maybe them holding the ball up a little bit more to get us up the field. But outside of the goal, you've got to say they've played well.
The other game in this group, Slovakia and Luxembourg, is scoreless at the moment as they near half-time also. In Trnava. 2.5 minutes left to the half here.
Another 2 incidents where he could have given a free kick.
Well, the ball with Galbraith, he's in the box, he's gone down, it's fallen.
Oh, dear me.
And it was a real chance for Northern Ireland, and it was Reid arriving onto it, and did he just slip as he took it because it's gone flying miles over?
I'm not sure what he's done here, but I mean, again, that's one. He has to hit the target here.
Oh dear, just seeing it back again, it doesn't get any prettier. He really should have at least hit the target. This was a golden opportunity for an equaliser inside the box.
That's a better opportunity than the one he missed the other night, That's a gilt opportunity, and he hasn't even hit the goal with it.
And like the other night, although this one's on his right foot, both times he looks like he's slipping getting to the ball. He's not where he needs to be.
No, he's stretching for it all the time. And he had no need to. All he had to do was, straight onto it and put his foot through it.
Well, 2 big moments that Northern Ireland can think about. One, the disallowed goal, and just there a moment ago, a chance to score a goal from open play after Galbraith's hard work on the left, and a chance not taken, and you're not going to get many chances on nights like this.
We made the point before, that the difference in the team is that if they get a chance, they've got players that are on the park that will convert it, and that was one, and I'm sure that had it been a German on the end of that, would have been 2-0 down.
The ball, long and searching, was looking for Voldem out of there, but the goalkeeper, Peacock Farrell, quick to the edge of his box to get it in his gloves, and he dropped it in front of him and left-footed, stroke it up into the air, looking for Reid, who has been easily ushered away from the ball by Ta.
If we're going to play like that, you'd be better off taking Reid off and putting Josh McGuinness on.
Well, Devaney lost the ball out of Yemi's running, little toe on it by McNair, but Germany keep hold of it. It's now with Florian Wirtz. Rams gone round the inside of him. Wirtz is instead dinking the delivery in. He was looking for Gnabry. He was the other side of McNair, and the ball's gone behind.
McNair just put Gnabry in the position where he knew he was never going to get the ball, and he was happy enough just to let that run out for a goal kick. Good defending, but again, we don't hold the ball up front, and they're coming right back, and they end up with a shot. Once they break away, Michael, they always end up with something,
Well, across to the far side in the right corner, 850 German fans who sold out their allocation, waving their flags, but Northern Ireland fans still banging the drum as the fourth official indicates 3 minutes on his boards. Northern Ireland hooking the ball into Germany's half, but they've got the ball back now. Price a little flick on, Reid has gone down, and the referee waves that away.
I don't think that's a foul either. I think that Ta's just too strong for him.
Reid on a yellow card, got up and started running at Ta, and probably give a couple of Northern Ireland fans a bit of a heart attack there. Needs to be ever so careful.
That's good play by McNair.
McNair won his duel.
That's where we got to put Kimmich under pressure, and we didn't get to him quick enough.
Well, the ball just not sticking for Northern Ireland. They tried to work it forwards, and it just bounces around a little bit off the boot of Galbraith on the stretch. And Germany, through Ta, have it again. Almost 1 minute of the 3 additional has elapsed. He's going to be suspended, so he misses the trip to Slovakia.
I know you made the point yourself, Mike. You've got to make sure you're in control of what you're doing there, and he's just lunged, you know. He's getting there that split second too late. He collides with the player, and it's always going to be a free kick, and unfortunately it's a yellow card as well.
Now that's a bit of a headache for O'Neill. He's had that settled midfield, and Galbraith, who's got that great partnership built up with Conor Bradley, I'm sure was looking forward to playing with him again, but it won't be in Slovakia.
No.
Bauman, he's turned himself into the referee's best friend. Little thumbs up. Are you ready now, ref? He's in no rush to take that free kick. Charles heading it on, and the ball out and over the half wall and over the touchline on this near side for a Germany throw in. They'll be happy to get into the break with the advantage given to them by Voldemada. It's not like they've had lots of chances to put Bailey Peacock Farrell under pressure, but as you say, John, the chance that came, they took it. Northern Ireland winning a couple of headers, and they now win a free kick as Reid goes stumping down into the ground.
Yeah, and the erratic cheers you can hear. I mean, it's a joke that it's taken them that long to actually give us a free kick.
Not winning too many friends tonight, the Spanish ref. Reid won that ball. Tam made it back for him.
Well, it'd be nice now with less than a minute to go, probably we can get something on the end of this.
Yeah, not even. We're past the 3, so we're at the referee's discretion. And Germany, you talked about Northern Ireland's high line there.
They are
doing it as well in Northern Ireland. Oh dear me, they've taken a quick free kick. Devaney bursts into the box, and the referee says the team who got the free kick can't take it.
And why can't they take it? I don't know what he's doing.
Well, he's
having a nightmare.
That is really, really frustrating for anybody, because you've been fouled, it's your free kick, you're attacking, and the referee says, hold on, the other team aren't ready. The free kick doesn't come to anything in the first instance. McCann, he spins, he shoots. Oh! He nearly found the top corner on the swivel from 25 yards. That's the half-time whistle. Ali McCann almost producing a screamer right before the peep of half-time.
It was an instinct, like he's got his back to goal and it drops to him and he just spins on it, and he wasn't that far away, and certainly Bowman wasn't convinced that this was going wide, but unfortunately for us it's just gone wide of the left-hand post. But I don't know, the referee, why he called that back, I have no idea, because Devaney was gone. There was no white shirt anywhere near him.
There was a big opportunity, and John, in the half, the two opportunities apart from right at the end there that Northern Ireland have had, the disallowed goal and then the chance for Reid. Your thoughts on them?
Well, on chances, you could probably say we're not too far away from the Germans. Obviously they have most of the possession, and we come to expect that. I don't think we're holding the ball up anywhere near enough. Reid's not doing it for us up front, and he's missed that golden chance again. But the annoying thing is that we're 1-0 down to a sloppy corner. Maybe that's the way they play, and they've done it down through the years, but I'm never happy of Isaac Price marking Baldameda from a corner. It doesn't make sense to me. But outside of that, I think they've played brilliant. They've done really well, and they're well in the game.
Yeah, the big German striker able to turn the ball in, and his goal, the difference at half-time at Windsor Park in Michael O'Neill's 100th game in charge of Northern Ireland. It is Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1.
So the thoughts of Jim Magilton, Keith Gillespie and George McCartney to come at half-time. But first, let's get you the very latest BBC News.
BBC News NI on Radio Ulster and on BBC Sounds.
Good evening, I'm Eve Coleman. There have been scenes of great joy in Israel with the return of surviving hostages from Gaza and in the Palestinian territories, where nearly 2,000 prisoners have been freed. Hamas has handed over the remains of 4 hostages, saying the burial sites of more than 20 others are unknown and will take time to find. President Trump has signed the Gaza ceasefire agreement at a ceremony in Egypt. He was flanked by world leaders, including Sir Keir Starmer, who said it was a momentous day with more work to do.
The challenge now is tomorrow, an implementation, and therefore, yes, today is historic, but what happens tomorrow really matters. And that's why what I've been discussing with leaders all day is what part can we play? And we, the United Kingdom in particular, I think, can play a part in monitoring the ceasefire, but also decommissioning the capability of Hamas and their weaponry, drawing on our experience in Northern Ireland.
A 40-year-old man who was arrested after a woman was found dead in Newtonabbey has been released on bail. He was arrested yesterday evening by detectives investigating a report of a suspicious death in the Old Mill Drive area. It's understood the woman was Mary McAdory. Following a post-mortem examination, the woman's death is not being treated as murder at this time. A man in his 50s has been arrested after €10.5 million worth of cocaine was discovered in County Wexford. A truck and trailer travelling from the continent was searched at Rosslare Europort, and 150 kilograms of the drug were found in an elaborate lead-lined concealment within the fuel tank. The man's been detained in the southeast of the Republic. MLAs have passed a new law aimed at addressing the cost of school uniforms here. The legislation will compel schools to explain to parents the reasons for uniform prices and provide the Education Minister with an enabling power to cap costs. Despite criticism from Sinn Féin, Alliance and the SDLP, who argued that the new legislation does not go far enough, it will be in place for the start of the 2026-27 school year. The Education Minister, Paul Given, also defended his decision not to force schools to offer girls a choice between skirts and trousers.
Now, there's always a balance to be struck as to where that should lie. Should it be something that we force all schools to have that uniform policy, or do we allow them to develop, engage with their pupils, with parents, and they come forward with it? I err on the side of allowing our schools to navigate this issue. But it is part of the guidance when it comes to comfort and practicality, and those issues should be engaged as part of that process.
The Northern Ireland Environment Agency has confirmed the first sighting of the Asian hornet in Northern Ireland. The invasive species, which poses a significant threat to honeybees and other pollinators, was captured last Friday in the Dundonald area by a member of the public. The sighting comes after 2 nests were found and destroyed in County Cork during the summer. Vodafone says it's working to fix problems with its broadband, 4G and 5G services after a major outage struck the network. 130,000 of their UK customers say they've been unable to get online. Now with a look at the weather, here's Jeff Maskell.
Any clear spells this evening will cloud over during the night, so staying dry and mild with light winds and lows of 8 to 10 Celsius. Under the cloud, we could see areas of mist and fog developing. It sets us up for another cloudy day on Tuesday with low cloud, hill fog and drizzle in places through the morning. Highs tomorrow of 13 to 15 Celsius.
BBC News.
We knew straight away. We weren't expecting it the first time, but we done it the first time.
This is Sportsound International Football. Listen live on digital, online or on BBC Sounds.
Welcome back. So at half-time, Germany lead Northern Ireland by a goal to nil. Northern Ireland have had a goal disallowed by a marginal offside decision, but it was the correct decision. We have 2 World Cup winners on the pitch at the minute, actually, in Josh Rock and Daryl Gurney, who of course won the World Cup of Darts earlier this year. And the other thing that we've noticed at half-time is that Josh McGuinness appears to have been called from his half-time warm-up down the tunnel. So will that result in a half-time change? We shall see. Jim Magilton, Keith Gillespie and George McCartney are alongside me. So Jim, overall, first of all, before we get to the goal, what did you make of the overall 45 minutes?
First 30 minutes was really, really good. Great tempo. Real aggression in the play. Had 1 or 2 opportunities. I still think we're turning the ball over too easily when you're in good possession of the ball. But I thought that their levels of aggression to force Germany into mistakes was really beneficial. So you're asking for a quick start, and that's what they got. Just a really, really poor goal.
Almost got the goal themselves, Keith, in the first 15 minutes. Flag went up, just about the right call, wasn't it?
It was. Brilliant from Ballard, winning the initial header. And it was him who showed more desire than anybody. There was nobody else who was going to get to that ball but him. It was, as Jim said, it was a good start. I think we just at times we look a little bit nervy, balls in their own box, sloppy headers and sloppy touches and that. But the goal apart, we're still in the game. I think the last 10 minutes of that half, it gives us a bit of heart. With Reid's chance, and Ollie McCann had a good sort of shot right at the end of the first half. But Reid hasn't done enough for me, so I won't be surprised if Josh McGuinness comes on.
George, that's something we talked about the other night as well against Slovakia. 3 or 4 chances, the first flick on, and nobody was anticipating the second ball, the ball dropping down, and we actually did it. And apart from being a half a yard offside, could have done 1-0 up.
Talk us through then the defensive setup here for set pieces. Germany taking the lead with their 50th goal against Northern Ireland. John's made the point that our best headers of the ball seemingly are they marking a zone and but even if 2 or 3 of them are you looking somebody better in the air than Isaac Price on their centre forward?
Well, again, this is preference, and obviously Michael likes the zonal mark, and just having a look at it, I think Trey Hume's short away in the front post zone, McNair's along the 6-yard line but at the front post, and then Ballard's on the 6-yard line at the back post, so there's actually 4 or 5 yards between them, and where Wilterman has run from the penalty spot, there's too big of a gap between them. As you either need a spur man there, or Ballard needs to just go,
or your goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's maybe expecting the goalkeeper to come, but for me, I haven't really seen Peacock Farrell ever come to catch a cross that far out. But anyway, Price, again, when you have your best headers marking zonally, you're asking the other players, more often not your attacking players, to then pick up their danger men.
Are you always going to ask your best headers to do the zonal part?
Yeah, because you're expecting them to come and win that first header. With their presence, more often than not, that's the area where the ball comes into, and it did win there, but we didn't react quick enough. And also Price, he was probably close enough to walk the man a bit. The big German lad, he's about 6'6".
Yeah, the physical difference.
So you need probably Ballard just to go man to man. And I will say, I watched the following corner from the other side. Price, and I don't know if him and McCann then had a switch around, because it was actually Ali McCann marking McCann on the next one. Or sorry, it was Ali McCann marking Waltermeyer on the next corner.
They need to sit on each other's shoulders to get anywhere near the same.
But it is. Listen, he's probably looked at the matchups. Michael's due diligence around all things set pieces. This will annoy him more than anything. So the matchups, he'll have looked at that. Brody Spencer's marking Pa. So it's again, and anything like it's always, if the ball's going to go into that area,
but somebody's got to go and attack the ball. Somebody in a meeting at some point, Jim, do you think will have said, do we sacrifice Ballard and put him on Voltemata? Do you think they've had that conversation?
George pointed out they did it after that goal. So McCann then decided, so someone's had a conversation, and McCann now is designated to go and mark him. But I still think it's a mismatch.
Yeah. And I actually wrote down as well in my notes just before the game, set plays, how important it's going to be. Switched on concentration levels. You give these sort of players and teams wide free kicks, corner after corner. Eventually, if you're not marking tight enough in the box, they're going to punish you. And they've done the same in the game out in Germany. Right. We held on for 60-65 minutes.
And then their quality.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The other thing is, though, they're susceptible. Germany is susceptible to set piece.
Yes.
Because the goal out there, anything around the far post, and it is a magnificent set piece. As George quite rightly points out, they're heavily reliant on that Ballard flick on, which he wins lots of times. Paddy's reacted off that. Paddy should score. It shouldn't come to the fact that Ballard then reacts and then puts it into the net. Paddy should actually score.
You've mentioned Jimmy Reid already, Keith. It's just not happening for him tonight. He's been booked. He's missed a really good chance. And anytime the ball's gone up there, when you're looking for it to stick or win a free kick or do something bad a bit of time, it just hasn't happened, has it?
No, the very first one that came up to him was easy to control, and it was just really poor control, lost it. But you need somebody up there to make, and it has to stick, because they've got so much possession of the ball at times. When we do get it up there, we need to be able to get hold of it and get our players up the pitch, and Reid hasn't done that. And I think once, I said to Jim, once he actually got booked, I thought he's getting hooked at half time. And it's an easy decision for Michael now to take him off because he is on that yellow, but he's also not doing it either. And you know,
and
he doesn't look like a finisher.
No, it's an unbelievable chance. You know, as John pointed out in commentary, that's walk onto it and hit. That's a lacy job. You're licking your lips.
When you see it from behind the goal, actually in the replay, I mean, it's probably finished 2 blocks wide of the post in terms of the crowd.
I don't even know if it's laces. No, it's a wee bit of composure. It's a wee bit of... No, if you're a striker who has belief in their ability, your confidence is high. Yeah. No, it's coming to you. You're thinking, I'm just going to slot this into the corner here. Whereas, probably similar to the one the other night, he's nearly slipping as he's going to shoot, and then ends up placing it over the bar.
There's Josh McGuinness striding out. First Northern Ireland player out the tunnel. Chest out, shirt on, standing on the near touchline, ready to come on. So that's going to be a totally different sort of proposition, you would think, for those Germany defenders.
100%, and Pete pointed out as well, you need a platform to go and play. So when the ball goes up to Josh, it's a setback. And one real bright spark tonight has been Ethan Galbraith. Yeah. He's found himself in lovely little pockets. Ball just get away from him a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Jim. But I think he's received it a few times on the half turn to go forward, and either the options have been limited, or he's ended up thinking, I'll just try and play safe here, sidewards, backwards, just look after the ball, rather than really just trust himself, step in.
That's right, and the one time he does it, he creates a great opportunity, drops his shoulder, he goes into the box, and then it's a lovely little set.
And quickly, Keith, it's a Josh McGuinness who maybe feel he has a point to prove, having been left out of the 2 games last month.
Yeah, of course, you know, you want to play every game, and you know, we know how much he loves playing for Northern Ireland, so you know, this could be his big chance.
We shall see. Let's hand back to our commentary team of John O'Neill and Michael Clark.
Thanks, guys. Josh McGuinness, who scored against Germany in 2017 as well in the World Cup qualifier. We know what he can do aerially. He's such an experienced player. Yeah, well, this is a big 45 minutes for him, John.
I remember going back to the game in Rotterdam against the Dutch, and he gave De Ligt and Van Dijk a handful, you know, so I'm hoping he'll be able to do that. But having said that, we've got to make sure we get them the right service as well.
That is going to be a big part of it in the second half. Germany with a goal advantage from Voldemare. They're giving the ball away early on in this second half to Charles, but the ball in from the right touchline, not finding anyone in green. They have it, however, through Devaney, who makes a nice little turn to get away from Gnabry on the halfway line, and Ballard it looked like impeded by Voldemare, but he's beaten 2 other players. Found McGuinness and now McCann. Good start to the half here.
Yeah, it was a good run by Ballard, considering he had his heels clicked a couple of times.
Price on the left, right footed, deep delivery in. Spencer was winding up to jump and try and get on the end of it, just couldn't quite get there.
No, we just had the wrong man going for that one. That's when you needed George McGuinness.
Voldemare with another foul. This one is going to draw the referee's attention. He just pushed Ballard over.
He actually waved play on, but Trey Hume stopped and said, we're not having that, we're having a free kick.
And then they've kicked the ball away, Germany, and the referee...
Michael, you know it and I know it, and everybody that's ever watched football, they know that the big sides always get away with it. You know, I mean, he's just kicked the ball away. If that had been us, he'd have booked it.
Yeah, allowing a little bit of petulance there from the Germans. Peacock, Farrell, Hume, McNair, Ballard, Devaney, Spencer, McCann, Shea Charles, Galbraith, Price, and now McGuinness on for Reid at half-time. Is the Northern Ireland team. Germany unchanged from the first half. Baumann, Kimmich, Ta, Schlotterbeck, Raum, Pavlovic, and Goretzka, Wirtz, Gnabry, Adeyemi and Voldemare. And it's Adeyemi who has it now, and he could be through on goal. He will be through on goal into the penalty area, left-footed, and he has missed. And never in a million years did I expect him to miss there.
No. As soon as he got by Brodie Spencer there, and he got it onto his left foot, and he was curling it round Peacock Farrell, I was waiting for the net to bulge, and thankfully it's just gone outside the post, and that was the game over and done there. It's a bad miss by Ademir.
Yeah, he's somehow missed the target. He absolutely smoked the defence for pace. As soon as he was played in, simple pass into him, got across his man so that no one could make a touch on him, otherwise they'd be sent off. And then inside the box, you fancy him just hit the target from there, but somehow puts it left of goal.
But we talk about players gaining experience, you know, and players being young and whatnot. I mean, our players have got to realise that we're at our most dangerous from attack when we're actually attacking from them. You know, they're so quick to break.
Raum is bundled over at Spencer. The referee had a little look at it and eventually...
You know, the free kick's what, about halfway inside the half, but it's out on the touchline. But it's a great angle for us to put a good delivery into the box. And this is where, you know, we've got to hope now that Josh McGuinness is going to get on the end of stuff. And again, it doesn't have to be a direct header, but make sure we're alive to it, taking chances right in the box.
And knowing the ability aerially, I'm sure Michael O'Neill wants his players to be smarter about the positions they take up, winning free kicks as well. Having faith in the players to put in a good ball. Shea Charles standing over this one, left arm above his head. It'll be right-footed. It's come in, and it's Price. It was arriving really awkwardly for him.
He didn't have much chance at the back there, Price. He's the last man, but you know, it's come in low and it's gone through a whole rake of bodies, and it's bounced in front of him, and it was impossible for him to try and control that header.
Just over 3.5 minutes of the second half played. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1, but well, we've seen both sides of it, haven't we? Northern Ireland made a quick start to the half, but Germany had a gilt-edged chance they haven't taken. Could easily be game over. They look for the searching ball down their left side. This time it doesn't come off for them.
Devaney's read that well. You know, I think he knows that they're always trying to get their fullbacks down, you know, wide on both the left and the right. He just timed it to perfection to intercept the pass.
Brodie Spencer as the throw-in.
We really struggle from throw-ins every time Brodie Spencer has a throw-in.
There's a real lack of movement, which is
yeah. Well,
so strange.
By Charles.
Shea Charles gets it to Price, and Price finds Josh McGuinness right side of the box. The ball takes a little bobble in front of him, but could he have done better, John O'Neill?
Well, I don't know whether that was a cross or a shot. I don't think it was either. I don't think Josh knows what it was. To be fair, there wasn't too many in the box, you know, up with him. We broke that quick. So maybe you expect him to maybe just drive on and try and drive it in at the near post, but to be honest, they didn't have much on. I think it was Price was arriving late into the box, but I don't think Josh McGuinness even saw him at the back post.
Well, we always say with one goal in it, you have to believe anything is possible.
Well, at the end of the day, they know the score as well. I mean, they give us any sort of chances, you know, and hopefully it'll fall to the right person and we'll take it.
Ta moving the ball to the left side of the pitch where Verts is able to control it and bring it down, and almost like a metronome they tick left and right. Back with Baumann again, another short pass to the German captain.
Well, you can see that, you know, just playing across their back four and trying to, you know, to suck us out.
And then when they go long, it goes out of play.
I think that was Ram. Was it Ram and Goretzka just left it to one another?
Yeah. In an anti-Chuckle Brother fashion there, to you. And Northern Ireland's turn to kick it out, and McCann, the man miscuing there. Well, this place packed once again in anticipation of a big night, and the big night it most certainly is, but it's leaning towards the Germans with 51 gone. Voldemara's goal, Germany's 50th international goal against Northern Ireland. He's got a little flick on there, and Northern Ireland defenders trying to combine, and Hume does ever so well.
He did well twice. He won the initial tackle, then it's gone back to I think it was Canabry. He won that one as well.
Throw in, guess who too? By the sounds. Do I need to commentate on that? They're doing such a good job, the supporters. Plenty of gesticulating from the 38-year-old Nagelsmann from his technical area. His 27th game in charge of Germany tonight. 14 wins coming into this one. And Joshua Kimmich, who he and gets his head up, and that diagonal ball not working out again. Just in case you're wondering, Rudiger injured and not a part of these matches. He'll be out for a while, the Real Madrid defender. Kimmich finding Adeyemi, and Adeyemi getting a little shove in the back and decides to go all the way back.
And they're so good at keeping the ball. You know, it's very difficult for Northern Ireland to try and get it off, and that's a great ball.
A fine sprayed pass that is brought down first time right-footed by Goretzka. Pavlovic to veer the ball from one foot to another and continuing his run, and he's got a little bit of freedom here on the left side. It's being tracked now by Shea Charles, and he's spun away from him, the Liverpool player, and Shea Charles has just moved him like a cheap and nasty bit of furniture.
Yeah, he's too strong.
Cleared the ball away.
Birch has gone down very easily, and he's still lying there. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, went down softly. He's got the ball to Raum.
It's a good tackle again by Trey Hume.
That ball might have gone out of play. The referee says it has not. The assistant's on the near side a mile away, so he didn't know. Florian Wirtz has gone down holding his ankle. He's got a pat in the back from his teammate to say you can get up now. He's given it, but he's not getting up quickly.
Yeah, again, there may have been contact. How much, I'm not sure until we see it again. I mean, he's maybe stood on the outside of his boot, but it's not enough for him to be lying out there.
Approaching the 54th minute, and Florian Wirtz just taking a moment to tie his shoelaces before he gets himself back up. Well, it's a free kick parallel to the edge of the box, a couple of yards outside of it, so
this could be dangerous if he whips this in at pace.
Corridor of uncertainty stuff. Very difficult to get a direct shot off, but sort of aim for the far post and see if anyone can touch it or float it in. We have a two-man panel standing beside it. Northern Ireland have a one-man wall in Crystal Palace's Justin Devaney. They have the choice of an outswinger from Raum or the right foot of Kimmich. It is Kimmich. Peacock Farrell gets a glove to it and he punches it into the air.
Yeah, again, it's that free kick he did in the first half. He tries to curl it in under the bar, but Peacock Farrell was ready for it and got his punch away again.
Got a couple of goals the other night. Joshua Kimmich, first time he scored 2 in the one game for his country. Up to 10 now for Germany, for the defender who often plays in midfield also.
I mean, that's a bad ball from Trey Hume. He's trying to get the ball into McGuinness. He's surrounded by 3 white shirts. He's got to be more patient than that.
10 minutes gone in the second half. Germany inside Northern Ireland's half. Striding forward through the centre back, Schlotterbeck. And the boos ring round every time Germany get a touch.
Particularly when it's Wirtz.
Yes, he's not necessarily one of our fans at the moment. Hume intercepted the ball forward, but it's hard to stay on the ball, isn't it?
We just can't get on the ball. We're intercepting that many passes and tackles that we just can't get control of it. It's just rebounding back to the Germans all the time.
Well,
it's important though that we stick at it. We keep it we keep it to that one goal. And if the chance arises, hopefully, we get a little bit of quality. It might get us back on level terms.
Yeah, Northern Ireland haven't beaten Germany in any of their last 13 meetings, losing the last 10 in a row, but hoping to find a way back tonight in this World Cup qualifier.
Good defending again by Devaney down this left-hand side. I think he's really, making that left-hand side his own. He's getting better with each game. Oh my God, I haven't said that. He's just gone through it straight to them on a throw-in.
We're on a no compliments policy now to 90 minutes.
Ballard's done brilliant again.
There's no beating Ballard, that's for sure. He's won his battle with Voldemara.
Again, good play by Devaney. He's got nothing going forward. He's got the confidence, to drag it back and find Shea Charles behind him.
In the last couple of minutes, Slovakia have taken the lead against Luxembourg. Remember, that would move them to 9 points, with Northern Ireland heading out there next month. Currently on 6 points.
That's terrible. He's just not giving us anything at all.
Shea Charles went down.
Yeah, I think he went down a little bit too easy, but the problem is that every time a German does that, he blows a whistle.
Voldemara, that is a deft touch for Gnabry, who, unlike him, couldn't get it in his first touch.
Won the tackle again.
Maybe Gnabry controls that, but it isn't Ballard bearing down on him, John.
Yeah. That's a foul.
Well, there's a foul on McCann from Pavlovic. It stops a promising attack, and the referee just wags the finger.
I'm not so sure about a card. It was definitely a free kick, and at this minute in time, I'd settle for the free kicks. We don't want to be too greedy, Michael, and look for yellow cards as well.
Well, the man in front of him, Schlotterbeck, was lying down, so I just wonder how far through Northern Ireland could have gotten there, John.
I think Michael O'Neill's making that a point to the fourth official on the touchline as well.
I think they're on Michael's side there in terms of Germany were just opened for a rare instance, and Pavlovic, I think, knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the referee's card stayed in his pocket, so Reid, who was substituted at half-time, and Galbraith, who as a consequence will miss the next game, the only two cautioned thus far. Price collecting the ball on the left side. McNair back to Price. Price flicks the ball over to German players and finds McNair. He's got into the box. Well, it looked like he had. It's been taken away from him by Kimmich. It's out for a throw into Northern Ireland, and the fans are trying to lift the players.
Yeah, but when the ball comes out to McNair, first of all, he's got a split second to get it into the box, and he delays, and then we don't get the cross, and he should have played it in first time.
Little moments of hesitation, not helping Northern Ireland out.
No, it's a good spell for us now. We're passing it with a little bit of confidence. We're getting the crowd back into the game again.
There's a noticeable breeze as well in here. Apologies for any industrial language I might have picked up on our effects, Mike. Ball delivered into the box. It drops down. It's Shea Charles. Bowman makes a save. There was hands on McGuinness's jersey there, and it's ended up being given as a free kick to Germany.
I mean, are we missing things here, Michael? Because I don't know what that's for.
Well, the referee, I think, is trying to allow an advantage so that VAR can intervene afterwards if it is a foul, because he's not sure, but because Northern Ireland didn't score, he's brought it back. But, I mean, having watched it, there is no foul. It's a player wins a header and another player lies on the ground.
I'll tell you that they're ruining the game here. They are absolutely ruining the game, the officials.
Imagine how many free kicks you would have conceded, John.
I wouldn't have stayed on the park, I don't think. Oh, dear me.
It's a mistake because Baumann clipped it away. Kimmich tried to keep it in, and I'm not quite sure why he did that. It's a shot from Galbraith, and it ripples the side netting. Did Baumann get a fingertip to it? He did.
The referee,
and it's a corner.
The referee had no idea, and Isaac Price has been in his ear, and I think that's the only reason he's given it. But it was a terrible clearance by Bowman, puts Kimmich under pressure. Price gets on the end of it, feeds it to Galbraith. He really should have tried to go across the goalkeeper. I don't think he was ever going to beat him on his near post.
And Galbraith was appealing for about 10 seconds. Corner. Ref looked at linesman looked at ref, and ref went, do you know what, you can have it. Before the corner will be taken, he's in for it.
What's the chances he's going to give a free kick here?
Yes. Jesus Gil Manzano, the referee from Spain, had a little word with Josh McGuinness, who's standing beside Baumann. The corner's a poor one, doesn't even beat the first man. Raum
terrible.
Volleys it clear. Price was fouled, and he gets a free kick near his own halfway line.
I can't believe he's booked him. He's booked first for that. That's a howler as well. I mean, I'm not even sure if it was a free kick. He sort of spun him round ever so slightly. But it's
a little hand on the shoulder, but not a lot.
I think Price has lost his balance on the sloppy turf, and he's booked him for that. It's two referees in 2 games who have been very, very poor.
We're running out of referees to get Christmas cards from. The ball played in. Well, why is Wirtz lying on the ground there? Brodie Spencer just wanted the ball more. Northern Ireland got a shot away.
I thought it bounced up. I thought he was going to give a free kick for a handball. I thought it hit Brodie Spencer on the hand. This is a good period play for Northern Ireland. When you've got a little bit of a purple patch here, you can try and... Oh, come on.
Another free kick has been given. Brodie Spencer is receiving a dressing down from the referee. He puts his hands on his back, and
this is getting stupid.
Well, the ball is on the near side of the pitch. He's given a foul on the far side of the pitch, and Germany aren't playing the ball across. They just dropped it and rolled it away. So it eventually makes its way back over. And now they're doing keepy-uppies.
The Germans are doing what we would love to have been doing. I think if it was us in front, you'd do the exact same thing. They're killing the game at the minute because this is the best period in the game that we've had in terms of getting up at the pitch and being able to get at them inside their final third.
And on the touchline, ready to come on, is Maxi Bayer.
Well, you can hear the crowd's been able to get back into it as well, so we've got to try and keep that going. Brilliant by Devaney.
Couldn't get by Devaney. He's had a good game.
He's had a great game.
Isaac Price, he's had enough. He's tried to skin a couple of people.
Yeah, well done. Good ball.
Found the pass inside to his captain, and Hume launches it forward and says, Shea Charles, go and get it. Slaughterbeck's been muscled out of it by Charles. It's in to McCann. McCann goes down, and he's not going to get a penalty there.
Not in a million years has had a penalty. It was a poor ball too. I mean, he needed a better ball out in front of him.
And Gnabry did a little hop, and Brodie Spencer's been penalised again. And the change is now being made by Germany. And Karim Adeyemi is heading off, and Maxi Bayer is introduced, and Adeyemi has been cautioned there for something, apparently, and he's going to miss the next game. So Adeyemi coming off in no rush.
I'll tell you what, Devaney's played really well against him, and he's seen him off, because in the first half in particular, everything was going down that right-hand side. Devaney stuck to his task, and I think that's probably partly the reason why he was substituted.
One nifty player for another, because Bayer certainly has plenty of pace about him. 64 gone in Belfast. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1. Still not Voldemar a goal. The difference, the Newcastle man, the target for the pass forwards there. Northern Ireland clearing on the edge of their box through McNair, brought down on the chest by McGuinness, but he can't hold it up.
Sticking, you've got to make that stick, Josh.
Theme throughout the night, regardless of who's been in that forward area.
Yeah, to be fair to the players, Michael, this is a tremendous performance, but we don't want to be sitting here at the end of the match saying it's a tremendous performance and we've lost 1-0. We just want to try and get that equaliser.
Still have that chance. We've seen nerves at times jangling in the German ranks. They have the ball through Kimmich, just chopping directions a couple of times before moving the ball out to his left, and now they angle it to the right. Goretzka, it's a smart pass inside.
We've got to get closer.
Opened up space. Wirtz, his cross is headed away. Shea Charles uses his body well to spin away from Raum.
We've got to get up to him. There's no green shirt making any sort of effort to try and get near him.
He's trying to outrun Pavlovic.
He's got 4 white.
And he's got a free kick. And fair play.
He's not giving it.
The assistant official, who it happened right in front of.
The referee's not giving this, has he? I haven't heard him blow the whistle. Oh, he has.
I think it's that loud in here, John. We maybe couldn't, but the assistant flagged.
The point I'm making there, Michael, is Shea Charles has won it just outside his own 18-yard box, and he's sprinted right to the corner flag. There's 4 white shirts around him, and our green shirts are nowhere near him. They've got to get up and support him a lot quicker, and he did brilliant to win the free kick right in the corner. So this is another good opportunity to try and get something off it.
He ran from the edge of his own box to the far corner flag. That is amazing determination from Shea Charles, and as soon as Pavlovic got across and put a little hand on his back, he said, cheers mate, take the free kick, get the big lads in there.
I know, and he had no need to do that, because there was reinforcements were coming at him really quickly.
Well, the bodies are in there, the free kick's in there, Ta gets his head to it. It's not cleared yet, Northern Ireland. Well, this pass, it's forcing Brodie Spencer to backtrack and go all the way back to his keeper. And forward again through Peacock Farrell.
You've got to talk to one another. Shea Charles and Josh McGuinness are going for the same ball, and one flicks it on when the other's standing right underneath him.
Those are the moments that irritate you. 67 played. Germany back on the ball again. And the last thing they want to do is give Northern Ireland many opportunities. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah. We were talking about this before the game as well, Michael. We know this, and we've always known this about Northern Ireland. we're lacking a cut and thrust. But this last period, we just can't seem to get anything going up front at all. Because outside of that, the team is functioning very well, and the players are progressing and learning as they go along. We just need a cutting edge to get us a goal. Instead of chasing games, give us a goal and something that we can hang on to.
Well, I wonder what's going through the mind of Michael O'Neill. Will he be contemplating another change soon, do you think?
Well, it'll all depend on how the players are feeling physically.
Now, Hume, eyes on the prize, kicks the ball off Raum, and out it goes. Throw into Northern Ireland.
Myself and Joel coming in the car, we're talking about, Trey Hume's progression and how well he's, settled into it. And, we were saying he's now playing at the, the highest level in England. And, coming up against the teams like Slovakia and whatnot, he's saying, well, this isn't actually as good as what I've been playing week in, week out. It's got to give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I was chatting to Gavin Andrews earlier on outside, and he was saying he wasn't really giving me much in that interview. He's so calm, so relaxed.
Yeah, very relaxed.
People thought after lobbing a keeper from 25 yards on your 25th cap that you might be a bit excitable. Not Trey Hume. Oh, it's a dangerous ball inside. Ballard does ever so well to arc his neck.
That is a great ball, and Ballard does brilliant to get that out, But, going back to Trey Hume, that's centre halves for you, Michael. We're more down to earth than, people smacking the
and humble and
smacking the badge and running to corner flags,
His last goal at Windsor Park before that was a pretty good finish inside the box against Glentoran it was a Boxing Day derby, but it was actually the day after Boxing Day, the way it fell that year. He's fairly come along, hasn't he? He's been so good for Sunderland. Northern Ireland fans stand up around the ground and applaud their players. Just over 20 minutes left. Germany on the attack. Gnabry, fierce shot, and Peacock Farrell is near side, able to parry behind.
Yeah, good play or good save by Peacock Farrell. They just got in between us a little bit. They haven't done that much in the game, and Gnabry, takes one touch, and that's all he needs inside the box. It could have been going into the top left-hand corner, but Peacock Farrell, who I thought had a good game the other night as well, again, makes a good save.
Well, Raum strutting over to the corner flag across to our right-hand side. Fans there making him feel very welcome. Some subs warming up beside him as he readies the left-footed delivery. Peacock Farrell in the middle of the box, arms above his head. Germany preparing a couple of late runners. This corner is taking quite a while, as Raum says, can I put it here? Does it need to be on this blade of grass? And the assistant for some reason answered him. In comes the ball. The keeper goes back onto his line. Bayer, that was going to be off target. It's been blocked anyway.
Yeah, I don't think Shea Charles knew that, and he had to clear it.
Gnabry, right side of the box, does a chop inside, and then a little embarrassed with his heavy touch, falls over hoping for a foul. None coming.
Oh, what a great ball by Gnabry.
Lovely touch from him there, right-footed, to volley the ball to Bayer.
This is where we've got to get out quick and put them under. Yeah, well done by Josh McGuinness. He's not let them settle. To just float one back into the 18-yard box again.
And Germany revert into that most frustrating of patterns of little passes close together. Come and get us. What can Michael O'Neill conjure up from the bench, can he? He's in conversation with Dermot O'Carroll.
Well played.
Galbraith won the ball. He was cynically tripped. The referee's
we've got to get up the
set
field.
Advantage. Price, in it comes. Hume heads it down. Stabbed into the air by Pavlovic. It's taking an eternity to come back down. Eventually controlled by Hume, and Spencer. Well, he got his foot on it, but he got no control of it. Throw in Germany.
Get control of it. We just need a bit of quality when we get. That was a good break. The ball, across wasn't the best. It was easy for the Germans to cut it out.
It's now 2-0 to Slovakia. Ivan Schranz making sure of things you would think now in Trnava. 73 minutes played there. So Northern Ireland will be put under even more pressure heading out to Slovakia next month.
Again, it's a foul, I suppose, when they consider that it's the follow through on it. And I don't know why we're diving in there.
Well, Paul Smith is getting himself ready to come on. And we're going to see the introduction of Callum Marshall as well. Getting a last-minute look at the iPad before they're introduced to the next break in play.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to see us maybe have a goal. I mean, try and get that equaliser. You know, if you go down 1-0 or 2-0, it doesn't make much of a difference, really.
Voldemara and...
Yeah, I mean, Ballard's had him in his pocket all night. The only time he got away was for the goal.
McGuinness heading the ball on and leaning back, gesturing to teammates to say, well, where were you? But in fairness to them, I don't think any of them imagined the ball was going to drop where it did. Germany playing it out from the back. And Tata, well, he was thinking about a diagonal ball forwards, but Raum is in a really high position now, the left back.
Yeah, he's run miles offside for the initial ball, but Tata just squared it across the back four.
And Pavlovic, who sits in holding midfield, can also drop into defence, so they always have cover there.
Great tackle by Hume again. Brilliant tackle.
Well, you can never fault the commitment of Trey Hume.
No. And you know, when you look back at it, it's, you know, possibly of us, you know, getting the goal that we need. We just don't have the penetration that he provided on Friday night against Slovakia, both him and Galbraith on this side. So it just goes to show you what a big miss he is for us.
Most certainly the case.
Again has had a great game. They don't know. Look, they don't know. Look, one's looking at the other. The fourth official, the assistant referee in the line.
And then Northern Ireland took the throw in and were told they weren't allowed to, but they are going to make substitutions. So Ali McCann is the first of two players to come off. Callum Marshall,
he's had a great game. McCann's had a great game in there. You know, he's worked so hard.
And Paddy McNair is the other to make way. So certainly attacking changes with McCann and McNair off, Marshall and Smith on. Recently made his Premier League debut, Callum Marshall.
Brody Spencer's coming over onto the left-hand side there, and Ballard's playing in the middle.
So a bit of a...
And that's Smith on the right-hand side now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Bit of a shuffle around. Jimmy Nicholl, just catching a glimpse of him on the screen, giving Paddy McNair a pat in the back. If you get a pat in the back from Jimmy Nick, you've done well.
Yeah, McNair's done brilliant his last few games as well, considering I don't think he's been playing regularly at San Diego. So, you know, to play the 90 minutes at this level is tough, considering, you know, how much work they have to put in.
It's an excellent point, John. We have 15 minutes remaining.
Again, it's a handball, surely.
Now, Hume's clearance doesn't get clear. Byers on the right side. He wants to try and get inside. His attempt at pass is blocked off, and Galbraith, looking up the line, finds Marshall.
He's got to hold it. He's got to hold it. He's trying to knock it on. He's got to just take it down.
Tried to flick on header, just went upwards rather than anything. Correct, yeah. Shea Charles on the slide, wins it. Ballard again steps through, and he's
just a little bit of control.
Skipping away from players.
He's just hit it too far. That's when you just need that little bit of control. He's worked so hard to get it out, and then his final pass has been poor.
I was asking an awful lot.
Spencer's got to be careful. Well done. Got a great header.
Well, you had header just about got into the box.
Bear was coming in behind him, but I think he knew exactly what he was doing. It was good play.
As you correctly identified, he's into a more centre-back role now. Spencer. Ball given away.
Bit of whack.
Northern Ireland, they might still get it. Marshall does well, keeps it moving, gets it wide right to Smith. We know he can take on men. He's got inside to Shea Charles. The shot's a poor one on his left foot. Hits the first man. Northern Ireland keep the ball. They're sending bodies into the centre. Diagonal ball in. Headed out by Germany. Veerts in the corner of his box. Beaten by Hume. Hume wins the corner. Earns the roar. The approval of the fans.
Hume has been outstanding. Both him and Ballard have been outstanding. But Hume more so. He's been a thorn in their side when he gets forward as well. Now we need a decent cross in, and that one of the big men get on the end of this.
Well, there's over 18,000 people in here who haven't lost hope. Northern Ireland with the corner on the far side. Devaney is the player to deliver it. Can he put it on someone's head? Oh, well, Bowman
It's an easy one for the goalkeeper to take, and again the referee blows the whistle and I've got absolutely no idea why that is. He didn't even need to blow the whistle. The goalkeeper has taken it comfortably. I have to say, this second half they've been outstanding. They really have. They've been much better in the second half.
Yeah, not sure what the free kick was given for, and then he takes it from a completely wrong place. Germany just inside their own half. Gnabry back with Kimmich. Well, Northern Ireland have seen little moments like that, haven't they, where there's been sloppy balls and they've set upon them.
Yeah,
is there one more for them, John? There's lots of time here, really.
But that's what we've been saying all along, Michael. You know, we're getting into sort of semi-decent positions, but we just need somebody up there with a little bit of, just a little bit of class, just to turn the moment for us, and we don't have that quality player up front at the minute.
Well, the different feel there would be if Northern Ireland were able to get something. And I mean, again, the referee's not given a foul. If you jump for a header and someone makes it back for you, are you not entitled to a free kick?
No, I don't think it was a free kick. I think he made the most of it. You know, he's never getting the ball anyway. I think he's tried for the free kick. I wouldn't have been too disappointed on that one.
What have we got? Just over 11 minutes left. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1. Germany punting the ball forwards, and Devaney just needs to watch, because behind him is Maxi Bayer. He's got the ball.
Yeah, he needed to get to the flight of the ball. He didn't need to let it bounce there, because Bayer was coming at him at pace.
Pavlovic, Goretzka.
No, we've got to close him down. We're letting him, we're standing off him just a little bit too much.
Yeah, the German players are getting higher up the
that's
pitch.
What you do. That's what. Look at Human and what he's doing. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Or sorry, I think it was Paul Smith that time.
Paul Smith that time, yeah, the both of them.
Yeah.
Feverishly chasing after every cause. Paul Smith plays it long, and Callum Marshall will certainly run. No change from the keeper there, who was always going to be a favourite to get there.
I think we're tiring a little bit now, and we're not getting as close to them as we would like. Understandable, really, because they've been given everything they've got.
Ta gets it through to Pavlovic, and there's space in behind where Germany can run. The keeper,
yeah, well done.
Does a really good job there.
Yeah, the keeper did well. He's come out of his box, threatening to just put it up the park, and Bayers just pulled his brakes on, and Peacock Farrell allowed it to go into the box then and just dealt with it comfortably.
Price couldn't control.
Does your head in? I mean, he's standing there on his own,
Galbraith hooks it out in the near side for a throw in.
That little touch, but that's the perfect example. He's in the middle of the park there. The ball's set up to him, nobody around him, and just totally miscontrolled it.
10 minutes left.
The referee's got to do something here. He's got to get them moving, because they're just taking forever, and he's doing nothing about it. He's letting them get away with it.
Germany, in many ways, it's the ultimate compliment.
Oh, unlucky.
Near late pass inside, almost gobbled up by Price. Big 10 minutes at Windsor Park.
You can hear the crowd. They're trying to get the team back in it again. They appreciate, the performance that they've put in today.
Michael O'Neill, 100th game for him tonight. He'll have no voice left by the end of it, John. He's still trying to be positive, still shouting on to his players. Head tennis. Marshall.
We got to get it down.
Went the wrong way with his header. Ballard and Voldemara. Voldemara's given up the run there. Galbraith will have it. And the Swansea player gets it to Spencer. And he just needs to be careful with his pass choice there. He goes to his keeper, who goes for the halfway line, and on it's flicked by McGuinness onto the chest of Marshall.
Yeah, he's got to be strong.
Slaughterback, just a bit too cute.
Too strong for him, too experienced. He's got to make sure he's strong there. Oh, great header by Brodie Spencer, and Galbraith's on it now.
Galbraith, nobody to his left there. He was wanting to move it to the wing. It goes to Devaney.
Yeah, that's a nothing ball. I don't know what he's trying there.
Bit of a tired lump forward, but the ball breaks to guess who? Trey Hume. He's everywhere. And he might think of a shot here. He has thought of a shot, and he's already got a goal in recent days.
There was nothing opening up for him. That he's thought, may as well go and have a goal. It would have been a great strike from there. And I'm not sure, even then, if the goalkeeper would have been beaten from that distance. This is a joke here. This is a joke.
What has happened?
Yeah, I think as it Paul Smith's gone past the Rome on the other side. You watch it here, look.
So we're seeing it on the monitor. Oh, he's
falling over.
Shay Charles.
Is it Shay Charles?
Yeah, Shay Charles just had a hold on someone's jersey, and there was a little push, and the player's done a front row. So the assistant official has notified the referee.
The referee's been poor. He's been very poor, I think.
Bayer, little dummy to go right, and then steps inside left. The ball just wouldn't fall for Devaney there. It's instead gone to Gnabry.
We're tiring, noticeably tiring now. I think Devaney's put in some shift now, and I just don't think his legs are going where he wants them to.
No, it's been a heck of a shift from Northern Ireland, and the ultimate compliment as well when Germany, since going in front, have been so keen to time waste against them. That tells you how far Northern Ireland have come along. They did have a big chance at the start of the second half, Germany, and Adeyemi with a terrible miss.
Yeah, we just can't get on the ball now. That's not the best of claim
to Bauman
either.
Now Voldemara, a little cheeky from him, I thought.
Again, Ballard's played him brilliantly. He knows that he's not favourite for the ball, but he just waits for the challenge, and as soon as Voldemara touches him, he goes down. Ballard's been brilliant tonight again.
He is imperious.
Yeah.
The sound in here is terrific, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It's as good a night as I've had in a while, considering that we're losing as well.
Losing but not defeated. Ballard heads it down.
We got to get on the end of it.
Not away yet, John. Galbraith, he has a pop. Oh, it's just over the crossbar. Oh, it was a really good effort from outside the box from Ethan Galbraith.
I think he was just stretching forward as he went to strike it, and it's just gone off the outside of his foot and over the bar. But again, Ballard won the header. Price sets him up, and that's close. That is close.
Almost found the postage stamp, and the referee now, after 84 minutes, is saying, you should probably hurry things up, Germany.
Yeah. They've been outstanding in the second half, Northern Ireland.
They've gone long here, Germany. Gnabry.
Well done, Brodie Spencer did well there.
He'll take the throw in.
Yeah, I mean, they've just knocked it down down this right-hand side into touch, and they're just wasting time as long as they can. Look, the referee's doing absolutely nothing here. Nothing.
Well, I can't wait to see how many minutes they add on, because the ball's been in place so much.
They won't add it on because they won't add time on for this, and he hasn't hurried them up at all.
They're getting ready to bring Valdemar Anton and Robert Andrich onto the pitch. Next time they get a chance, they've been robbed of the ball. Northern Ireland on the edge of their own area, need to be careful. Shay Charles is being pushed all directions. He eventually plays the pass and he gets the free kick. And
well, you can hear the ironic cheers every time, because this referee, you just don't know whether he's going to give it or whether he's not,
So first change sees Serge Gnabry have his number put up on the boards. He comes off, and Robert Andrich of Leverkusen is on for these final few minutes. And Voldemar Anton also on for cap number 11. He comes on in place of Alexander Pavlovich.
Again, I think, rightly so, Peacock Forest just going to launch this into the centre of their defence. We've got to take a chance. If we get a header, we've got to take a chance.
Helped on by Ballard. Price couldn't get there. Ballard wins it again. It's a really good header to the left to Devaney, and
I think that's just tiredness. He swung his left foot at that, trying to shoot. He just should have lobbed that back into the centre of their defence. Every time we've won a ball in the 18-yard box, there's always been a white shirt that's got to the second one.
And Michael O'Neill is saying to his players, get up, you need to be a higher line, you need to be more aggressive. He knows they're absolutely exhausted. He's trying to drain the last 1% out of them here in the hope that there might be a late twist in this tale. Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1 on Radio Ulster. 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds.
What a ball by Ballard. He's taking a bit. Sorry, I nearly swore there. He's really taking Baltimore to the cleaners tonight.
I think we know what you're going to say. I'll apologise for that just in case anybody worked it out. But it was a lovely bit of skill from Ballard.
He left him standing.
Oh, they've gone inside. Marshall controls it. Marshall shoots. Smothered by Bauman. Oh, so close. And if anyone deserves an international goal, it's that man who's had to wait so long.
Oh, what a ball from Trey Human. Marshall's made a great run. He gets in. He's timed his run perfectly. His first touch was brilliant. He gets round it, and the keeper makes a great save.
Does everything right. Everything right there, Marshall. Gets across Ta, who lost him for a moment, got the shot away after the control, and forced the keeper into action. 2 minutes left.
I'll tell you what, this has been a tremendous second half, and the only thing missing in this second half, Michael, has been a goal.
Never say never. Germany also look like they're starting to tire, dropping back a little bit, and that will allow the long balls to come in, and they're the thing they don't seem to be able to deal with.
They don't.
How many minutes do you want? Can anyone get a word down to the 4th official?
That's a foul. No, it just shows you.
Well, Robert Andrich, who's only on, that might be his first touch.
Totally miskicked that.
He shanked that into Jupiter. Galbraith to Ballard, inside the semicircle on the halfway line. Forward it goes. Price wins his aerial battle. So too does McGuinness. Devaney forces the German defender to get a touch on it, and the ball arrives at Spencer.
We've squeezed them back into their 18-yard box.
They're all back now, John.
Yeah, we need a good delivery in.
Will it come here?
Send it in.
Galbraith squares it to Ballard. They're asking him to shoot. He's gone deep with his cross.
No, it's not the cross. He's got no angle there, Ballard. He's hitting that, from the middle of the pitch. He needs to spray it out to Smith or Trey Hume on that other side.
Germany are getting nervous. Peacock Farrell's on the halfway line. He plays it forwards. Smith inside, or just now outside the way the ball bounced the box on the right side. It's another corner to Northern Ireland. We've 25 seconds until the 90th minute. The 4th official arrives in the touchline. Surely this is going to be a big number. They've wasted so much time. They're going to make a change as well. Jonathan Burkhardt is going to come on, a striker from Eintracht Frankfurt, and what would be his 5th appearance for his country, but not before the corner. Voldemar, is that? It's maybe Andrich has gone down in the box. Referee's just sorting out a bit of pushing and shoving. Well, there'll be no free kick. The ball wasn't in play.
Seriously, 2 minutes.
Well,
that's a joke, an absolute joke.
Hard to understand that. The corner is a dreadful corner.
That's a terrible corner. I mean, my God. We're in injury time and he's put it out. I'm sure Charles. Sorry, who took that? Was it Marshall that took that?
I think it was Devaney again.
Oh, Devaney.
Yeah.
I mean, he's tired. I know he's tired, and that he had that shot earlier. We looked really tired, and that was an awful corner. You've got a chance in the last minute.
Yeah. Florian Wirtz is coming off, and it'll be Riedle Baku to come on. John, I think you'll appreciate this. Riedle is not the name he was given at birth, but his dad loved Karl-Heinz Riedle, so he decided to officially change his name to that, because that's all his dad called him. He has a twin brother whose nickname is Rudy, after Voller, so it seems that no matter, maybe mum picked the names, but dad really had his influence on them.
Yeah, it's amazing what they'll do.
So Riedle Baku is on, Wirtz is off, Voldemar is off, Burkhardt on as well. And I'm still getting over 2 additional minutes. I mean, my dearie me, that is most strange. And the 4th official is, I don't know what he's signalling anyway to Nagelsmann.
I think Nagelman's asked him about the injury time, and he's basically said, well, the substitutions now have put that back a bit, so we might get one more chance possibly.
Well, let us see. Well, the 2 minutes are nearly up.
Yeah, I think he was making the point that with the substitutions they've got to extend that a bit more.
So launched forward by Hume. It's touched on. Ballard's up there. Northern Ireland are in the box. Marshall. It falls for McGuinness. Oh, it's blocked by Ta. That was going in. Price. Kimmich gets a foot on that. He can't keep it in. It's a corner to Northern Ireland. Oh, Josh McGuinness might well have had a goal there, but for Jonathan Tah. And Ballard being in the penalty area helped make it happen.
Goalkeeper's coming up. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Peacock Farrell is in the centre of the box. Northern Ireland, its last chance saloon. The ball is in. It is headed away.
I knew he was going to give a free kick. He just knew it.
And well, it's getting a little heated in there, and the referee flamboyantly issues yellow cards. One of them's to McGuinness.
The referee's been a total joke.
I think Andrich has got the other one. Well,
I mean, he's given a free kick, and I don't know what he's given a free kick for, because the two of them have gone down in the box and they're having a go at one another. So how he can make it, that's a free kick out, I just don't understand.
And then Baumann tries to take the free kick from 18 yards, and the referee decides he can't be bothered, and he blows it up. And that sound is 18,000 people who have just really been frustrated by the officiating tonight.
It's been a joke, and it's unfortunate that they've ended up in a boo, you know, because the supporters will get behind them now, and you know, they'll cheer them off the pitch, because that's one of the best performances I've seen of a Northern Ireland side. And that's Germany, who are hanging on at the finish, and we're sitting here, Michael, absolutely gutted that we've lost 1-0 to Germany. Gutted, you know.
Well, Shea Charles has just been yellow carded as well. We need to keep track of that. He will have that hanging over him going into the final two games, and Michael O'Neill is on the pitch in a heated discussion with the referee.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right. It was a disgrace, an absolute disgrace.
Well,
an absolute disgrace. But you know, the thing about it, Michael, is that everywhere throughout the park we were outstanding until we got to the 18-yard box, and we knew that, and we know that that has been our, you know, our sort of Achilles heel right through it. And the chances that we got that fell to players, if we had a natural goal scorer in the team, we would have scored 3 or 4 goals, you know, and that's, we're just not there. We just don't have that player, because everywhere around the pitch the players did themselves brilliant, you know, absolutely brilliant. And that's not to decry, you know, the players up front. At this standard, they're just not to this standard, you know. I mean, you had, you know, Reid's playing in League One, you know that's, and Josh McGuinness, you know, he's at the end of his career and whatnot. And that's the disappointing thing, not the players themselves, but the fact that we don't have that quality, you know, up front.
Well, a far from vintage performance from Germany. Northern Ireland had them rattled. They were hanging on for dear life at the end, but the visitors did manage to hang on. They move to 9 points. Northern Ireland remain on 6. Full time in this World Cup qualifier at Windsor Park. It is Northern Ireland 0, Germany 1.